say definitively that religions are all bullshit.
Welcome to Brainstorm.
We have the explicit tag for a reason.
This is a base level argument to a higher level morality.
I get paid to science?
Two science as much as one can science.
What the hell was my point?
Trigger warning. The Brainstorm podcast will criticize your most cherished beliefs. We attack nonsense in all its forms and discuss difficult subjects. If you peddle pseudoscience, supernatural woo, or religious dogma, then this is not your safe place. This is the home of hardcore skepticism.
Is it?
And we're back.
Okay.
Are we back?
We're back. To those listening live or to our patrons, welcome back.
Hi.
Back again.
For those listening weekly, welcome to the Shift to Reason Radio, the Brainstorm production that focuses on science outreach and education. We'll try our hand at teaching you a little bit about common skeptical topics, logical fallacies, errors in reasoning, and religious apologetics. This
Those are my
episode
favorite.
is brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up for your free trial membership and free audiobook at audibletrial.com/brainstorm.
Corey works for Big Audible.
I'm a shill for big audiobook.
He's an audible shill.
Audible shill.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like an audio slave.
Oh,
Except
God.
they were a terrible band.
I thought they were okay.
You know, every night that we do this, I wish I killed you the time before.
And then you're like, hey, let's do the show again.
God damn it.
I just wish you would just fucking just pre-record that shit. They're not paying you. Are they?
Yet.
I can.
Are they paying you?
Not yet.
What are you hiding from us, man?
I wish I had something to
Malibu mansion.
I wish I had something to hide.
He's got a helicopter.
If he has a Malibu mansion, it's Malibu Barbie mansion.
Those are
Some of
fucking
those-
expensive,
There's nothing wrong
actually.
with
They're
them.
fucking expensive.
Yeah.
That's not cheap. That's
Garage
like
sale.
that's like a maybe for a garage sale. Yeah,
This part is brought to you by Garage Sale.
you can,
There's a watermelon and a fuzzy peaches, guys. Check it out.
all right. The Woo Report. Let's do that before we move on.
I'm not a scientist, but if I can tell you your science sucks, then your science really sucks.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck.
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 All right, Gumby, you got a story.
All right, so there's this woman that some people might know. Her name was Katie May. For those of you who aren't familiar with her, she was a Playboy playmate. She was a 34-year-old mother of one, a single mother. And she fell and hurt herself at one point. I lost my first page for this. And I think it was on set. And so she ended up going to see a chiropractor. And the chiropractor killed her.
Essentially, hey?
Well, straight up. Like,
Not then and there.
not then and there. Yeah, not intentionally.
Not then and there. Yeah.
But
Fair enough.
by going to somebody that's not a medical practitioner, because as a lot of people know, chiropractors aren't doctors.
Right.
It's bullshit medicine. It's not medicine. It's pseudo-medicine.
Pseudo medicine.
So did the article say it was an actual? Was it a coroner's report?
Yeah, the
That
autopsy
actually-
result revealed that Katie May died after visiting a chiropractor's office and sustained a fatal tear to an artery in her neck from visiting the chiropractor.
A fatal tear to an artery in her neck.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah. How hard do you have to push on somebody's neck to tear an artery?
It'd be interesting. We need somebody that's knowledgeable in science.
She just left.
Damn it! But
and it's a different type of science.
You mean medicine, not Yeah.
She's in the chat room.
It's still
There you
pretty
go.
intense, right? Like,
Well, the only thing is I have had a couple, maybe skeptical things about it. First off, we're quoting the article quotes TMZ, so take that for a
grain of salt.
Yeah. And the other thing about this is like as we were talking at supper, like I know chiropractor isn't like the fix all or whatever, and I know you guys think it's bullshit, but this is also kind of just like, I mean, there is waivers when you go in there. I mean, shit can happen. I mean, I'm not defending chiropractic per se, but this is just this is almost anecdotal. Like,
fair enough, but there is a history of like strokes being caused by chiropractic adjustment in the neck area.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever heard of something this intense, like a tear in an artery.
The thing that I find weird is what they didn't mention in the article is she hurt herself. Did she go straight to a chiropractor or did she go to a doctor first?
Yeah.
She didn't. She put it out on social media. Hey, I have a sore neck. Blah 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 blah. Any suggestions? And somebody suggested she go to a chiropractor,
Which she did.
Which she did.
And then
yeah.
So it's entirely possible that the tear in the artery was something that happened with the injury,
With the fall, yeah.
rather than coming from the chiropractor.
It's also possible that could have just compounded it.
Right. It could be a combination. Yeah. It could be, we're not aware of all the variables in the scenario.
Yeah. It's interesting. So if there was
if she would have torn an artery before she went there, she wouldn't have lived long enough to get there.
Died before.
Not necessarily.
But it may have. It's possible that these things could be weakened and then go to the chiropractor and
he
then
exacerbated it.
Yeah, exacerbated it and
Because
finally did the final tear type thing.
Because all I could think of is like my roommate when he got hit by the car, he was up and around walking for a month.
Right.
Because what happened when you got hit by the car, if I remember right, there was a bit of a lesion, and the blood pooled and pooled and pooled and pooled until it basically snapped the spinal cord, called a non-severed. Can't remember the exact technical term, but it was a non-severing of the spinal cord, but it still caused spinal cord injury.
Okay.
But it was the blood pooled and then
right,
bam. So I mean, there's a lot of X factors to this. I mean,
Lisa in the chat room says, "I know you give a lot of radiation to damage a major artery.
It would take a lot of radiation.
It would. Okay, yes. Things can rip though if you fuck around in that area. So one thing can happen and damage it is what I'm kind of getting from that, and then you exacerbate it.
Yeah, it's hard to say that sometimes.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
blah blah blah.
I can type them way better than I can speak them sometimes. But sometimes I'm like, So.
I would say that the person that
mash.
Whichever medical professional who is a scientist did the autopsy.
Yeah.
Right.
And if they put it in the autopsy that's what the cause was, then
granted.
It's more than likely that that's what the cause was.
At the very least, this is going to be one hell of a malpractice suit.
For sure, yeah.
Isn't there something, didn't
Not if there's
that
a waiver.
just recently get covered?
Yes, that's true.
They
still might find ways
do
around
something
that.
about chiropractic medicine and how much it was bullshit. Isn't there something on Quack Watch or whatever?
Oh yeah, it's all over the place. Like chiropractic is complete horseshit.
And the founder of that whole thing was a complete
fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My back is fucked, and of course this isn't just me. But out of all the doctors I've ever seen, not one of them has ever recommended a chiropractor.
Yeah.
One of them fucking recommended Reiki.
That's right.
But not
a chiropractor.
I had a doctor recommend spinal Pilates for me.
Oh.
Spinal is that a thing?
That's how there was a course you could take it at the university.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lisa says we need our major arteries.
We do. We definitely do.
That's neat.
I think we gave a really bad impression.
Yeah, I think so.
I think she thinks we're really dumb. I blame the rest of you.
Oh, thanks for throwing us
I
under
blame
the bus.
you.
Yeah.
Fuck
So,
that guy.
I guess that works.
That's okay. I know I'm dumb. That's fine. I don't go.
You got to know your own weaknesses.
I don't, delude myself at all.
Yeah. So, yeah. The thing about chiropractic is that it's not based on any real evidence. It's the actual philosophy of it behind it is based on like pure pseudoscience made up by a guy who just made shit up.
Yeah.
And while a lot of the practitioners now don't promote that aspect of it, like that, we're manipulating your magic portion of your body, that's still the foundation of the practice at its core, and that's the sort of thing they were taught. Mm-hmm. Harriet Hall, Dr. Harriet Hall, did a great video on it, on which I think is on the James Randi Educational Foundation's YouTube channel.
I love everything about JRF.
I got to write that down because I got to watch that.
I pretty much love everything that Dr. Harriet Hall has ever done. So, yeah. So that's that. We'll move on to my story, which is quite a bit more fun. I think.
I thought that was an interesting one.
So, this is from Vice.com again. It's
okay. I live on that website. Sorry.
Discussing the Mandela effect, pop culture memories changing. In, I guess, a large segment of the population. Well, I'll give you the title here. Conspiracy of the Day. Your memories of pop culture are fake and created by satanic scientists. That's a hell of a title. I really like that title, but it's so I'm going to start off. I got some points here, some notes. About last year, I think it was the Berenstain Bears myth kind of started, where people thought that the Berenstain Bears had previously been spelled the Berenstain Bears. And some people remember it one way and some people remember it another way.
Yeah.
And there's some discrepancy between these two things. And I think I may be misremembering this, but I think that people have found books with either spelling.
Huh.
And there's another link to an article from last year on Vice. Within this article, I'll also provide it in our show notes.
So there's actually different spellings?
No.
People remember it being spelled differently.
This Nelson tattoo.
It's a Nelson Mandela.
Jeez. I'm sure that I have seen images of both spellings.
No.
But yes, I have actually seen images of both spellings. But I don't know that those haven't been doctored.
And it's also, I mean, there's typos in fucking printing all
That's
the
right.
time.
We had this discussion at work months ago, Justin and I. And I'm like, no, it's the Bernstein Bears. Because that's what I remember from my childhood.
Right.
And then we looked at an image of one. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then we looked at every single image of every single cover we could find.
Well, just today I looked at some and they had one beside the other and they had both spellings. But like Renee said, like they could easily be typos or one could be doctored or like. Mm-hmm. So this is
Can't verify that, just a picture of it.
Yeah, you can't verify just a picture on the internet.
Yeah. Well, so we actually looked at the original writing and it was originally
Berenstain. Yeah. So paranormal author Fiona Broom calls this effect, or this phenomenon, the Mandela effect. Many people seem to have false memories of Nelson Mandela dying in the prison in the 80s. Now, that's something that I did not have.
No, because
we were kids.
Yeah, we were kids. So I just remember him getting freed.
Right, yeah. I remember him getting freed, but I don't remember anybody ever promoting the idea that he died.
Yeah.
So this refers to memories by large segments of the population that don't line up with reality. A couple of examples are in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader says, blank, I am your father. Well, he doesn't say blank. But in the article, they say, what does he say? So if you think he said Luke,
He doesn't.
then you're wrong.
Yeah.
He says, no,
I am your father.
I am your father. And in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937, the Wicked Queen says, blank, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? And it's magic mirror, not mirror, mirror. I came up with my own example, and it's the Matrix-themed meme of Morpheus saying, what if I told you this didn't, what if I told you that didn't actually happen?
Yeah.
So these are things that people can falsely remember easily. Believers in the Mandela effect claim that this is more than just cultural propagation of false memories. They believe that history is being edited. Though I couldn't come up with a good, like I couldn't, even in the article talking about satanic cults, I couldn't come up with a good reason.
Well, I actually clicked on the link where it showed the YouTube video where they talked about it. And there were the one that comes to mind right now, because I watched it, but it wasn't that memorable, was they were talking about how, like, yes, it was edited, where even James Earl Jones, like, they were showing an interview with him, talking about recording the line, and he's just like, Luke, I am your father. Right. And it's like, and they're just like, well, see, it was edited on the movie, it's this way, and even the guy that recorded it doesn't even remember it that way, and it's like, yeah, but this is also 20 fucking years later. Like, like it's quite possible he doesn't remember it. Like, he's done how many movies since?
George Lucas has about 10 different versions with different lines every time.
Right.
Like, actually, you can
so
find
the one that was actually sent out as the main one.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's changes like every time he re-releases. He has like 2 words to some people's lines. Yeah. It's stupid. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not the Mandela effect, it's the fucking George Lucas effect.
It's the George Lucas.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they don't just believe that history is being edited in a way that someone may change something that is written based on better information, because sometimes history books are edited once we learn something new. They believe that history itself is being changed in the past, but not just in pop culture.
Where's the temporal police?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. They believe that some changes to the King James Bible are apparently an effect of the Mandela effect. And
that one's only been re-edited and retranslated and re-edited and retranslated.
And some of the stories regarding the JFK assassination have also been a result of this. For example, off the top of my head, there's a woman who has changed her story multiple times over the years throughout multiple interviews because she remembers it differently every time she tells it. Many people who are good at neuroscience would probably tell you that this is a result of memories changing and rewriting themselves as we remember them.
Yeah.
Something that I particularly liked in this article is this quote. I can't remember who said it. If you have a memory of the past that is contradicted by nearly all current available evidence, does that make it less real? The answer, of course, is yes. Yes, it makes your memory less real if it's contradicted by all evidence. Your memory is wrong. That's it. He continues. Does your allegedly erroneous memory become more real because there are others who remember it the same way? To which the answer is no. Other people remembering things falsely does not increase the chance that your memory is correct.
There's a lot of manipulation that can happen too, because if you watched Kimmel, he does Lie Witness News a lot, and it's kind of an annoying segment. It's probably his my least favorite segment of his. And he, comes up with, I think the most recent one, or one of them was they had a first lady debate. And Bill Clinton and Melania were debating each other, apparently. And so somebody got on the streets and was like, so what did you think of, and people were talking as though they had seen an actual debate, which they hadn't. There
which
was
of
no
course
such
never
thing.
happened.
And they do that on the regular, and it's not actually a thing. And people just, for whatever reason, there's like, oh yeah, I saw that, and it was terrible, and
Jeez.
didn't actually happen.
Because if you plant something in somebody's head, it's easy for them to conjure a memory that didn't exist.
I've got a bunch more cool examples.
Yeah.
The Mona Lisa.
Is she smiling?
Is she?
I don't know.
A lot of people remember her as being just emotionless. Now they think that she smiles.
Right.
Hannibal Lecter never once says, "Hello, Clarice."
It's been a while since I've watched
Okay,
that
now
movie.
that's something that I'm sure I remember.
Not once.
That's interesting.
Because I know I used to work with
That's
a Clarice, and we used to always make that joke, and she'd hate us. Hello, Clarice. She just fucking hate us.
There is no movie called Interview with a Vampire.
It's Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
Jiffy peanut butter doesn't exist.
Jiffy? No, of course not. Jiffy.
Think of the box.
Is it just Jeff?
Yeah. Think of Fruit Loops in your head.
Yep.
How's it spelled?
It's not double O, is it? Or is it double O?
That's another one I've walked by a million times and can't think of it.
It's not FROOT.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
with two colored O's, just like Loops.
Fruit Loops. Okay.
Okay.
That I totally didn't believe, but I had to actually Google another picture of Fruit Loops. There's so many of these. Life isn't like a box of chocolates. He doesn't actually say that anywhere in the movie, that life is like a box of chocolates.
So quite simply,
what does he say then?
What does he say?
Because
Mama said life was like a box of chocolates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That one's
That's pretty close.
It's kind of more of a paraphrase than a direct quote.
Yeah. So basically, this is a case of people simply being mistaken and believing what they remember over what actually is.
And there's also an element of pop culture where those lines get used and reused and reused and reused in different parodies and whatever,
That's right,
that it gets
yeah.
ingrained in your head.
Exactly. So I've got another quote here. This is from Nathan Stolpman. It says, just because somebody believes reality to be different than you and all of your friends think it is, it doesn't mean that person is wrong. It could just mean that the past is different for him than it is for you. And that's wrong. The past...
However you experience something doesn't validate it.
In my notes I put, no, that's just fucking stupid. You don't get to just make up history because you fucking remember it differently.
Sure you can. Republicans do it all the time.
Republicans do it all the time, eh?
And also, I mean, even witness testimony in court isn't always super reliable.
No. Yeah, memory's
Because
not.
No, that's
even
right.
5 minutes after something happened, you may not correctly recall the events. Like, they've done studies about that very thing. And, and your memory is not a reliable thing.
Or 4 people recall it correctly in different ways. Because it's what you focus on becomes the most prevalent.
Yeah.
Lisa pipes in with, is the sky blue?
Technically.
No.
Providing a link, even.
Yeah.
I learned that on Storybots.
I fucking hate Storybots.
It's Ask the Storybots. It's not Storybots.
I'm not asking the Storybots anything.
So there's an English professor at the University of
Garfunkel
Buffalo.
and Oates are in there. It's a
David
good show.
Schmid, not Schmidt, Schmid,
Schneebly?
who specializes in pop culture and public fascination
get
with
that?
true crime, says, For many people, the world is a confusing and overwhelming and even frightening place that appears to be chaotic and random. Conspiracy theories, no matter how bizarre they may appear, give people the feeling that the universe is structured, ordered, predictable, and obeys definite rules. There's some more stuff in the article about CERN and being satanic and whatnot, but I didn't want to go any further into this because it's just pure nonsense.
When you're reading an article and you get to a point where they start talking about something being satanic, isn't that just where you just stop?
Yes.
You're like, okay, yeah, no, I'm done with this.
No, I actually did keep reading, but I just didn't want to cover it here because it's total fucking nonsense.
I always find that shit hilarious.
Speaking of CERN, have you guys seen the articles recently about the 200 and whatever different stars that are acting all weird in one certain area?
200.
Because aliens.
I knew it.
That's actually a real possibility. Though.
Yeah, they actually, scientists honestly think that,
actually saying it might be.
Probably just aliens.
Which scientists?
I don't know. I don't know them.
Like
Dr. Benson Honeydew.
Yeah, what university is it? It mentions this has been talked about a lot recently.
Like there's people out there who are spreading the idea that these signals and things are in fact aliens.
Well, what they said is not that they are aliens, but that's a possibility. They said, like,
right,
yeah.
Which is pretty far from the way that media likes to.
They're like, yes, aliens
demonstrate things.
We so badly want there to be aliens.
I do. That'd be awesome.
Of course, we all want there to be aliens, but
totally.
But I'm not just going to believe any random
Hopefully
story
they're
about
nice
aliens because, well, yeah, hopefully.
At least some of them. I don't want them all to be horrendous.
I don't want violent aliens.
This isn't a radio signal or anything like that. It's these suns are dimming and brightening.
Right, but there's lots of phenomena that can cause that.
Right, but there's a whole bunch of these doing it at the same time in different spots.
They said it's a predictable pattern or something like that. Like it's happening at predictable intervals, which is interesting.
More to come.
No, they said they still need to
More
research
to
it,
come.
Obviously, they need to do more.
Yeah, more to come.
But it is an interesting thing.
Yes, it is interesting. I won't. Obviously, that's neat.
Also, Lisa in the chat clarified something about the sky being blue. Oh, there's a huge comment.
Oh,
now.
my
I can't read
goodness.
it all.
Whoa. Who said it?
Who is an astronomy myth debunker on this story. 70% clickbait, 30% still not aliens. The article is a fair reflection of the paper itself, which is 54 pages long.
Oh my gosh.
234 stars.
I just had a look at the paper. They were looking for an alien signal, found a weird signal, and declared it to be aliens.
Probably
the signal itself is faint, high-frequency oscillation on top of what they expected for a star, but 234 stars out of 2.45 million is enough to get you all kinds of bizarre outliers. Could be instrument noise, could be a star being weird, and the abstract also says, although unlikely, there is also a possibility that the signals are due to highly peculiar chemical compositions in a small fraction of galactic halo stars.
Yeah, so people are exaggerating too much is the point.
Yeah, that's right.
But they're not ruling out every possibility.
It's not definitely alien.
No, exactly. Exactly. It would be cool if it was.
It would be cool if it was, but it's not definitely aliens.
I just want to find aliens.
I'm basically reading the same thing. And this last line really pisses me off of this. It's too early to unequivocally attribute these purported signals to the activities of extraterrestrial civilizations. That's fair.
Yep.
The organization said in a statement. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. No, they don't. They require evidence.
Well, no, this has some sort of evidence for the claim of aliens. It's not good enough. It's not enough. It's not
enough.
Strong enough.
It doesn't
evidence.
have to be extraordinary.
But it does.
It has to be enough.
This could be qualified as ordinary evidence. What they require is extraordinary evidence. Above and beyond the ordinary.
You both agree. That's the funny part. You're just saying it differently.
Semantics are very important.
He just hates the idea of extraordinary evidence because he thinks that there's no such thing.
Because there's evidence, and there's not evidence.
Because he thinks he's being pedantically correct.
I don't think I'm being pedantic.
You're not even correct.
You guys are adorable.
Yeah, this is what happens when you know somebody for far too long.
Exactly.
If you like what we're doing and want to help us keep the lights on, go become a patron at patreon.com/brainstorm podcast. You can hear the bonus half hour that we record every episode and get a shout out when you support the show. Become a patron for just $1 an episode at patreon.com/brainstorm podcast. Or you can support the show by ordering a t-shirt, mug or other gear from our store at caffeepress.ca/brainstorm podcast gear. If you can't afford to become a patron or buy gear, then why not give us a rating or write a review on iTunes or Stitcher? Every rating makes it easier for people to find us. Thanks for your support.
We are given one life, full of billions of small and large decisions. To be somebody, to change, to be kind, to give hope, to become a better person, and to leave a lasting impact on this planet. It is a decision to be made every single day while your heart is still beating. We've made our decision. Absence of Clothing, atheist and science-based apparel and merchandise, donating 50% of our profits to charity. Look good and feel good, without God. Check us out at absenceofclothing.com and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest for discount codes and other sweet swag.
Use the code BRAINSTORM at absenceofclothing.com and get 10% off.
Are you done getting your brain stormed?
We here at Packard Pokesat, we poke at beliefs, religion, news, and oddities from across the web.
Join us, along with occasional guest hosts from people in the secular atheist movement,
where we poke at all of this and more Friday nights
at vaughnlive.tv/PackardPokesat.
Okay, Connie, are we done with this promo?
Well, how are they supposed to find us, Packard?
Oh, shit. I forgot about that. I know. They can find us using a compass.
No, that won't work.
Well, they can find us at Packard Pokesat at WordPress.com. Where can they find us? Well, they can
all the way back to Newark.
All the way back in Newark. Well, they can find us. They can find us at Packard Pokesat on packardpokesat.wordpress.com, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and YouTube.
Just don't try the magic 8-ball.
Yeah, I know. I tried that last week, but all I got was try again later.
So we're going to move on to alkaline diets.
My favorite.
I have first-hand experience from a wife.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's get all anecdotal.
Dave's eaten an alkaline diet.
I'm not.
You haven't?
No.
I'm just saying my wife did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. Or not alkaline, but something like that.
So I did not get enough time to do all the research, but I have a lot of links. So what is an alkaline diet? This is a diet that consists of various foods defined as alkaline or acidic that allegedly will bring the pH of the blood to a level of slight alkalinity.
Wrong.
Yes, a level which your body.
Actually, I shouldn't have done that like Trump. It's just wrong.
No, it's just regular wrong. Hey?
Yeah, straight up wrong.
A level which your body's homeostatic mechanisms will achieve regardless of the alkalinity of your diet. Yes. The alkaline diet gurus believe that an alkaline diet will put less stress on the body's natural homeostatic mechanisms and that this is essential to good health.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yes.
That's advanced stupid.
So what
People drink that Kool-Aid though, man.
they do?
There's like alkaline water, and it's huge right now.
It is. It's
Like the water thing I showed you, the oxygenated
yeah,
water.
oxygenated water because
Yeah.
it somehow makes a difference.
You can breathe that shit once.
Well, it's kind of like
once.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, it's
Die.
still marketing. Like it's just like we laugh at work where everything's marked gluten free and non-GMO
and organic.
Organic
salt. That's my favorite.
Yeah, the one I laughed at was the non-GMO gluten free tea. That was amusing. Gluten free tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope there's no
Gluten-free tea.
gluten-free tea,
That's
gluten-free
fantastic.
green tea.
But was it alkaline?
Yeah, I don't think that part was part of the marketing yet.
So, what are some of the claims of the alkaline diet? I don't know about all of them, but some of these people claim that alkaline diets can, in fact, cure cancer.
Of course, everything fucking cures cancer. Everything causes cancer. Everything cures cancer.
Everything is cancer.
Yeah, everything is cancerous.
They seem to believe that you can adjust your body's pH level and make it inhospitable and in an inhospitable environment for cancer cells.
Yeah. So, and when you fucking die, cancer doesn't keep on growing when you're dead.
Let's rewind that. They don't know what cancer cells are then, because cancer cells, for the most part, are regular body cells that are growing in the wrong place. If your body's not hospitable to your cells,
guess
you
what?
Probably have a problem.
Guess what? I in my notes I put, I suppose that's true, because if you change your body's pH by any significant amount, then you die, and the cancer will stop growing.
Well, car batteries have been shown
to have zero
to kill
cancer.
cancer in a petri dish.
Oh yes, I'm sure they have. Yeah, I'm sure the acid from a battery will kill cancer in a petri dish.
It makes me sad for society that people just buy into that, and they just get sucked
Yeah.
in. It's like, oh, this is okay. So I'm back in like 2004, acai berries were the thing.
Oh, God.
And they still are.
Yeah.
As though they're the new superfood, or kale, or
As though the word superfood has any real meaning.
Well, and that's the thing, is like they attach these definitions to these words, and it's just fucking bulletproof coffee.
But they are delicious. I get the Impact acai at Booster Juice, and it's tasty.
Do you?
It's so tasty.
It's yummy.
After so many years in the restaurant industry, and
Is
I
it
know
possible
Renee
that it
can
would be
attest to
tasty
this.
with an equal amount of sugar and another berry?
I think if you just put like sugar without like the fruit taste,
It wouldn't be quite as much.
It's
eh?
not quite the same.
But maybe blueberry would be good too.
Blueberry's good. It has a different taste though.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's
You
not-
like the acai berry?
I really do actually like the taste. I'm not having it because it's a
'Cause
superfood.
it's magic.
I just like the smoothie. Tastes good.
Yeah.
After so many years in the restaurant industry, I'm sure Renee will attest to this. I can't understand people fucking eating kale.
I made
if you
kale
have
chips,
kale,
and they were good.
if you have kale that's raw, it goes on the edge of a plate with a piece of fruit on it.
Or covers up the ice in the buffet line.
Yeah. Or it goes under the fruit on the fruit tray. End of fucking story.
Hey, kale salad is pretty tasty if you have the right things.
Yeah, like lettuce and tomatoes and everything that's not the kale.
There is a taste to it that is specific.
Yes,
I really
there
think
is.
so. I don't know. I like kale chips. Like they're tasty.
I like them too.
Yeah.
I like kale chips too.
And again, I'm not eating these things because I'm like, oh my god, it's like the best thing ever. I just like how it tastes.
I like how people actually pay like money for. Do you know how expensive kale is?
Isn't kale like any
A
other
garnish?
leaf? Like you throw it in things and it doesn't actually change any flavor, and you just eat it, and it's just filler.
It's like it's a leafy green like a lettuce, but it doesn't taste as good as lettuce. You don't like vegetables, so
maybe I'm adding it to the wrong things because I don't think I've ever actually tasted kale. I've used lots of kale leaves, but I don't know what it tastes like.
What do you put kale in?
Food. With other food.
No, like, are you
cook it
cooking
in other food.
See, what he does, he
Eating it or
takes
eating it raw?
the kale and then he blends it with a pound and a half of bacon.
Yeah, like...
So it tastes like bacon to me.
So it tastes like bacon.
Or ground beef or chicken or...
So you're cooking the kale?
Yeah, it's in food. What do you eat, raw food?
No, a lot of people eat raw kale.
Weirdos.
Kale
It's
salad.
gross. Well,
They-
salad.
They
The salad
massage
is
it
different.
first, though.
That's, yeah.
Salad
They
is for
they massage
weirdos.
their kale. Some people put it in smoothies.
Yeah, I've had a kale smoothie. Actually, I like that. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Dave drinks kale smoothies, and I'm weird.
Okay, Dave's weird too.
I drink kale
It
smoothies.
tastes good. I like it.
There's nothing wrong with
I think I just don't like the taste of kale.
Probably don't. I like the taste of tofu. A lot of people don't.
No, I can't.
Dave really is weird.
Yeah, tofu.
I enjoy the taste of tofu. And I know it's kind of neutral and kind of bland, but I actually like it.
Wait, are we talking as if tofu is actually food?
No, we're not.
Dave is. It's like a thing I saw on Facebook one time. How to eat scrambled tofu. You open a package of tofu,
You throw
and
that
dump
shit
it
in
into the
garbage.
garbage.
You eat some eggs.
Eat some scrambled eggs.
Jen eats tofu. She's a vegetarian. That's where she gets a lot of her protein.
For sure.
That's good.
I get my protein from animals because they're tasty. Though, to be fair, beef farming the
Isn't
pork industry,
efficient.
it is not sustainable the way it is.
Is not efficient or sustainable.
No. So once we start growing lab meat,
That's the way to go.
I will eat all the lab meat.
Yes.
I actually think that's a good idea, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Make it more expensive.
Sure.
I'll still
pay it.
fucking eat it.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Fuck
If-
yeah, I'll pay
If
for
you
it.
could make bacon in the lab, you know what that is? That's magic. If you could get it to that point. No, the logical next step is 3D printing meat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's
Right?
the fucking way to go. That's right.
Oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to make some bacon. Literally make some bacon.
That's a miracle. That's the definition of a miracle.
There's the proof that there is a God. Making bacon.
Making
Bacon.
bacon. Okay, let's do a logical fallacy. So I've got the etymological fallacy.
Oh, great.
Oh, great. Which reasons that the original or historical meaning of a word or phrase is necessarily similar to its actual present day usage. Gumby takes off.
I am not in this discussion.
Unfortunately, history doesn't tell you what words mean. Historical use doesn't dictate what current use is. So it's frustrating for some.
It's the worst thing in the world.
It's the way language works. It's just how language works. Words, the meaning of words change depending on how they're used.
I understand that. Okay. Back in the conversation. I understand that meaning is used with words. It is.
Yes.
I just think that
People should use it the right way.
Yes. Because a word should not be defined as the opposite of its actual definition.
I think that the key here is that words are just a means of communication.
Right.
They don't have an objective meaning, right?
Yes.
So if
a word has no meaning on its own, I get it.
If
I
there's
totally understand that.
communication and people understand what you're saying,
I just think I think my biggest problem is seeing words degenerate with some words. It seems like communication is regressing instead of progressing. When you take the word fucking literally, which is now defined
This is one that really bothers you.
Oh, man. When you define a word by the opposite of its meaning as its new definition, it drives me fucking nuts.
I think we all have certain words that we get stuck on a particular meaning or context.
Well, and language is the most important thing we have that sets us apart from any other beings in this planet, right?
Right.
The ability to communicate and to share knowledge past just a temporary instant communication like conversation. You can write shit down. If you don't even know the difference between the theirs, how are you communicating well? If you have to decipher the meaning without just understanding what's written.
Have you ever looked at Old English?
Right. And language has progressed to the point where you have definitions for words, but not anymore.
I'm just meaning like Old English is almost undecipherable in comparison to English.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right. That's what I said. It's progressed. And now it's starting to regress. Because you can use words like fucking... I just got stumped. I just stumped myself.
That's also the level of education is
Yeah.
changing. Oh, yawning.
Well, and
No, there's university students that use the wrong fucking words for everything all the time. I just want to strangle them. I see publications. I see work published in what's considered to be good publishings, where there's huge errors and there's.
But on the other hand, did the people reading it understand what the writer was saying?
But if that continues to degrade, you'll get to a point where you don't understand anything.
But as long
We're all
as
going to be conversing in like text anyway, like, and I mean like all LOLs and
right
BRB and
TTYL and
So if you have somebody that actually reads English properly, and you say, "Hey, you know what? I'd rather be there than here."
Then they'll look at you and go, "Give me the Google map."
Yep.
I want the pin. Give me the pin.
Actually, in many conversations, it wouldn't matter which there you're using.
Then or than matters.
But not to many people can understand that conversation without that additional clarification of the A versus the N, or A versus the E, or the there versus the there. You know?
There's a difference between knowing your shit and knowing your shit.
But when you say, I know my shit, it doesn't matter where you put the comma. People know what you're saying.
Awesome. Well, I guess you know your shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Where's the comma, motherfucker?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. What am I saying to you?
It doesn't matter.
Am I saying that you know what you're talking about, or that you know that you are shit?
In this, see, the difference is that you're specifically trying to test me. If somebody's just saying, you know your shit, to somebody else, they're not necessarily testing them. They're probably just saying they know their shit.
You had to use the word probably. Language should be pretty clear and easy to understand. You shouldn't have to probably know what they're saying.
But the difference is that you're trying to be prescriptive in language rather than descriptive.
Why can't I be prescriptive with language?
Because language is not prescriptive. Language is use. It doesn't dictate use.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So
if people understand what one another is saying, then it doesn't matter if the grammar rules or the spelling or the abbreviation are there, right? I mean, yeah, to you or I, we prefer to have the correct quote unquote word there.
Like the difference between then and than isn't an abbreviation difference.
No.
But what he's saying is the meaning of words, if two people are having a a discussion and they're using then and that interchangeably, but they
What if
understand
somebody
what each
reads
other
it
is saying.
6 months later in a book, and it's just the title or something, and then he ends up buying the book and it's nowhere near what he expected, based on how it's written on the title. That's what I'm saying. Like in an immediate conversation, it's not as important as if somebody were to read it 6 months later. I'd be like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" And then you have to be able to try to fucking tear it apart.
True.
That's the part that I have a problem with. If I'm just talking to you, and you're just writing it down,
in a sense, you're also talking about a different thing than this fallacy, right? Because this fallacy is about using a word, say, socialism, in a way that you want to dictate what it means to the person you're communicating with, but they don't understand the meaning that you're trying to dictate, right? To them, that meaning that word has a different meaning. So, in that sense, one of you is making a fallacy, right? And depending on the general use of a word like socialism, perhaps the person trying to dictate the use, which would be you and I,
or literally,
perhaps, because if literally is used correctly, we both know that word
there is no correct way, though.
If it was used in the quote unquote correct way, it would be an utterly useless word.
Yes.
So this fallacy is what we're talking about. We're not just talking about grammar.
You knew I was going to go off the handle.
Of course
anyway.
Of course I knew that you would, but we just filled an extra 10 minutes.
There you go. There you go, folks.
And we can start going into our out show stuff because we're pretty well done. Listener feedback. We have a new patron, though this episode may not keep her. Janet, thank you very much for becoming a patron. As far as iTunes reviews, we have no new ones, but I found out who Atheist Mom is. It's Gayleen.
Oh, Gayleen, yeah.
From the Saskatoon group. Thank you very much for the positive review. We really appreciate it. Other than that, there were no new reviews. On Twitter, Randy Lamonda thought that the chat about multi-level marketing and pyramid schemes was quite good and posed the question, are churches and religion the biggest of these?
Yes.
Yes. 100%.
They're selling a bullshit product at exorbitant prices.
And the power always goes up to the top. I think particularly the Catholic Church demonstrates pyramid schemes pretty well.
I don't know. I always thought
the Vatican does.
Yeah.
It's the richest country.
I always thought
in the world
Jehovah's
for
Witnesses were a pretty good pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Jehovah's, they're constantly trying to market
that is because there's only X amount of people who are allowed into heaven.
No, but that's just the government. I just seriously, I had a conversation with Jehovah's Witnesses, and they said that that's just the government. It's
really?
That's what they told me.
Oh, that's interesting. We'll have to learn more
Betty
about that.
And Susan.
I used
Betty and Susan. Nice.
I used to go.
Their names, but I do.
I used to go to hall meetings because I had a girlfriend that was a JW.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, she listens to the show regularly.
Oh.
And
who didn't you date? Me.
Your grandma.
Your grandma.
That was just a one night thing.
She was too hot for
she
you.
Says hi.
She's too hot.
Marry you, doggy.
Okay, we got a couple listener emails.
Bark's pretty good.
William Breen said, so he has because we made a crack about the Apple laptop crashing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He said he bought an Apple laptop in 2005 and it still works fine. Email, presentations, documents, surfing the web. He might have to purchase a new one next year because the OS is discontinued. But show me a Microsoft-powered PC that is still going strong after 11 years.
Touche.
Oh.
Touche. Everyone. Mac users.
He says, so there.
Very proud.
He says, keep up the good work and stop interrupting the goddamn guests. Gumby. He didn't add Gumby, I did. That was me.
Obviously, he doesn't listen. He's just started listening, and it's our shtick. And I'm not the only one that interrupts.
No, that's true. We got an
Good.
email.
I didn't know if that was true or not. I was hoping.
No, that's true. We all kind of interrupt odd time. I do it just often.
Gumby does it the most.
Yeah. We got an email from Karen
I'm gonna
Garst.
check metrics on that.
Letting us
I'm
know
interrupting Corey on purpose.
about her new book, Women Beyond Belief, Discovering Life Without Religion. It's a book of essays from 22 women from different backgrounds who tell their stories about leaving religion.
I follow her on Facebook.
She's interested in being a guest on the show.
Sweet.
I will contact her as soon as possible to set that up. We're booking into February of next year already for our guests. So until we can get her on, I will throw the links in this show's episode notes. She's got a blog, faithlessfeminist.com, and her social media as well will be Faithless Feminist on Facebook, and I'll provide a link to the Twitter. I don't have it on my notes here. I'll get you a link to her book if I can. Hopefully it's on Amazon. Thanks, Karen, for reaching out, and I'll get in touch with you as soon as possible.
There's Corey trying to sell books again for his
Audible
bosses.
Shell.
Audible Shell.
Audible Shell. But this is Amazon. Well, I suppose Amazon owns Audible.
Oh. The truth will out.
Oh,
Okay, random news. I'm going to create an app for the show as soon as we get up to, I'm going to guess, $25 an episode. I'm kind of at my spending limit on this show right now. Like I every extra penny that I have goes to this show. So between live hosting, normal hosting, the website, studio costs, and if we get more patrons, a few more patrons, then I'll use some of my other money to create the app and pay for all the fees for that. On the website, we have a demographic survey. There's a link at the top with all our website sections, or you can just type it in yourself. It's survey.libsyn.com/brainstormpodcast. That lets people know, lets us know how many people and what demographics they belong to that are listening. Actually listening, not not just downloading the show and then leaving it sit there, or who just follow us on Facebook or whatnot. So, anybody have anything to plug? Nothing beyond the normal.
I'm taking a psychic course online, you guys.
That'll be awesome.
I'm going to learn how to be a psychic, sarcastically.
So we're totally going to have to incorporate that into one episode somewhere.
Yeah.
That's great.
Or we could do it as a group.
We should do it as a group.
We could all hang out and just grab a computer somewhere and
just, yeah.
It's 5 sessions of approximately an hour each.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Basically an afternoon or possibly 2.
Yes. Totally doable.
Okay. I don't think I have anything special to plug today. So that's where we're going to end it then. Before we go, I want to mention the website, brainstormblog.net. We have comprehensive show notes, including any notes that I've made regarding my stories and any notes that the rest of the crew gives me for theirs. You can get bonus content, full-length ad-free episodes, and other bonuses by becoming a patron at patreon.com/brainstormpodcast, just like Daryl, Will, Rob, Nathan, Destin, George, Stephanie, and now Janet. You can join us for the next live broadcast by following us on Spreaker. Just enter Brainstorm Podcast into the Spreaker search bar, or you can go to our website, brainstormblog.net, and check out the live show page and the upcoming events page. Remember to rate us and write a review on iTunes or Stitcher, and hit that subscribe button. If you leave a review, then let us know, and remember to tell us where you're from so we know which store to look into. Thanks, Dave, for intro music. Thanks to Alex Kepper-Murdoch for doing the voiceover for the intro and some of our ads. And thanks to Jason Camo for our outro music. You can find his stuff at aloststateofmind.com. All music played is either with permission or under the SOCAN license to play. For more information on SOCAN, you can check out the music license info on our website. T-shirts, mugs, and other cool shit is available at cafepress.ca/brainstormpodcastgear. And we love to hear from our listeners, especially if they insult Gumby. So shoot us an email at mail@brainstormblog.net or go to our website and hit that contact page. If you have a podcast, website, or want a shout out or a promo to play, let us know. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in a couple weeks when we are joined by Chris, aka X, from the Utah Outcasts podcast.
Also, I'm pretty sure the Canadian government still uses like 1980s PCs.
Could be.
Wanted to say thanks to everyone who listens to us, shares the show, gives us a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, or supports us through Patreon and Gumroad. We don't have a lot of interaction sometimes with our listeners, but what we have had proves that we attract some of the best people around. Smart, kind, and cool. An audience truly worthy of the titles hardcore and woo-free. Thanks for helping us make the world a smarter place.
This is an opinion-based podcast. Each person on the podcast is responsible for their own opinions, and those opinions don't necessarily reflect the views of the rest of the panel. Any guests or anyone associated with the people on the podcast, such as spouses, partners, children, other family members, friends, or employers. No one person speaks for the podcast with the possible exception of Corey, and he doesn't speak for anyone else on the show. The Brainstorm podcast does not represent the views of our sponsors.